and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 scary Disney theories. You guys love a bit of Disney, and I don't blame you. We did scary Pixar theories and it went really well, so we thought we would hit you with this. Before we get into the video, I want to ask you guys who your favorite obscure Disney character is. I don't mean like a main character or a princess or anything like that. I mean like background characters that are great. For example, I love the wardrobe from Beauty and the Beast. She's a sasspiration. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and also please do leave a thumbs up. Alright, scary Disney theories, what is happening? Coming in at number 10, the Lost Boys are murdered. Okay, Neverland does sound fun and everything, but what if it is way more sinister than we at first thought? How come people in Neverland never grow up? Well, maybe someone stops them before they have the chance. Surely not Peter though, he seems like such a swell guy. Well actually, if you really think about it, he's kind of a child kidnapper. If he's capable of stealing children from their beds, maybe he's capable of killing them. There is a theory out there circulating that Peter Pan dispenses of members of his gang periodically when they get too old. The theory also says that Captain Hook is actually a lost boy who escaped, and that's why he hates Peter so much. Honestly, maybe that's why the Lost Boys were so keen to kill the Wendy bird, because they know death, they've seen things. Coming in at number 9, Gaston was Bambi's mum's killer. No, I'm still not over Bambi's mum's death, and I don't think I ever will be. The movie is all fun and woodland frolics until she dies, and then it's a total and utter bummer. It is such a harrowing scene, and I feel like it has scarred me for life, like thanks Disney. We all know that Bambi's mum was shot by a hunter. Well, there's a theory out there that Bambi's mum's killer was none other than that brute Gaston. We know that Gaston is a hunter. It's even sung about. No one shoots like Gaston, and he uses antlers in all of his decorating, so we know that he hunts stags, so it's very possible that he hunts deer too. There is a shot in Beauty and the Beast where we see a familiar looking doe drinking from a stream near the Beast's castle. Was it Bambi's mum? Coming in at number 8, we have The Cars Took Over. So we talked about the scary homunculus theory in Disney Pixar's Cars. That was in our Pixar theory video. So basically, to simplify the theory, it's that cars are actually exoskeletons for humans who are grown in amniotic vats, then plugged into the cars at an early age. It's pretty wild, and there's a really creepy picture. There is also another scary theory out there. Some people think that Cars is a post-apocalyptic world where AI and cars have fused to kill humans. How and why did the humans die? Well, pollution and mass plowing down by angry cars. The theory goes that the cars were implanted with false memories after the takeover, forgetting humans but remembering 20th century events and nostalgia like Route 66. Coming in at number 7, Peter Pan is the angel of death. Oh Peter, you just can't stay out of this list, can you? So J.M. Barrie, the Peter Pan author, used to read to terminally ill kids to make them less afraid of death, and now you think about it, Neverland is kind of heavenly. The kids never grow up, so maybe they're ghosts or spirits in utopia. The theory goes that Peter Pan is the angel of child death, like the Grim Reaper but just for kids. If sick children die, he shows up to guide them to the afterlife, which is filled with all kinds of fun, frolics and adventure, as well as mythical creatures like mermaids. Perhaps Neverland is child heaven. While that's pretty scary, I honestly like that theory better than Peter Pan being a murderer. It is possible that the prince in Snow White is also an angel of death. Check it out coming up next. According to a Reddit post, some people do think so. I get it, when kids die they go off to fun heaven filled with adventures. When single women die, they're whisked away by an impossibly attractive prince. Honestly, I'd kind of like something in between the two, but if I had to choose between a prince and Adventureland, I would choose the adventure. Anyway, the theory goes that the prince was sent as an escort to the afterlife, which explains why Snow White waves at the dwarfs as if she's never gonna see them again towards the end of the movie. The kiss is said to symbolize entering the next realm, and the white horses that you see, well apparently they're biblical symbols for death. Yikes. Coming into number 5, Elsa and Anna's parents died on the way to Rapunzel's wedding. There is a theory out there that Rapunzel, Elsa and Anna are related. According to multiple theorists, they're cousins. Anyway, Frozen director Jennifer Lee said that the king and queen of Arendelle died in a shipwreck on their way to a wedding. Arendelle is supposed to be in Norway and Rapunzel lived in Germany. It is quite likely that they would have travelled the North Sea, so perhaps this was their final resting place. Coming into number 4, Carl dies in Up. There's the theory out there that Carl actually dies at the beginning of Up and everything after is his ascension to the afterlife. I don't know, about you, but I was howling within the first 10 minutes of Up. It was really sad but cute. Carl and his wife Ellie have a lovely marriage, but they never get to travel the way they wanted to, and don't even get me started on the baby thing. Anyway, it was clear that Carl loved his wife more than anything, but then she died, and then he was almost forced to leave his home, his final reminder of their marriage. It's thought that he died in their home, and the whole adventure afterwards was his journey to heaven to be with his wife. Russell is said to be his guardian angel, but an angel in practice who needs to earn his wings by doing a good deed. In the movie, he needs a badge for assisting the elderly to become senior wilderness explorer, but maybe he just needs, you know, kudos with the big man upstairs. The theory says that Carl's guardian angel is a child, as he and Ellie were never able to have one. The house that Carl and Russell fly away in is said to represent Carl's physical attachment to the world, and floating up is said to represent his transition from the real world to the spirit world. Paradise Falls, where he eventually goes, is said to be the gates of heaven. Was he dead this whole time? Honestly, whatever happens, I hope that he and Ellie were together somehow afterwards. Coming into number 3, Aladdin is post-apocalyptic. It seems that some people out there think that Aladdin is set in a post-apocalyptic future, and that Agrabah is one of the only outposts for survival. Why? Well, it all centers on the genie. The genie complains that he has been stuck in a lamp for 10,000 years, and when he comes out, he does a Jack Nicholson impersonation and also turns a boo into a 1950s looking car. This must mean that he was imprisoned in the lamp sometime in the 20th century, if not he wouldn't know all of that stuff. If so, then he's in the lamp for 10,000 years. Aladdin must be set in the year 12,000 or thereabouts. Further evidence comes from the Aladdin video game, where you can see an old road stop sign buried in the sand. Now, according to a 4chan thread, all of this is as a result of a horrifying nuclear war that wiped out most of the world, save for the Middle East. Coming into number 2, Ariel's mum was murdered by Captain Hook. What is it with villains from one movie murdering mums from another, like it's nobody safe? So a lot of eagle-eyed lovers of The Little Mermaid have noticed a certain red-haired mermaid hanging out in the lagoon who looks a lot like our gal. In Ariel's beginning, we learn that her mother was called Athena, and true to classic Disney, her mother was killed. But not just killed, she was killed by pirates. Right. We know that Captain Hook isn't great to the mermaids of the lagoon, so is it possible that Captain Hook and his cronies killed Athena? A lot of people think so. Finally, coming into number 1, we have the on-screen murder in Emperor's New Groove, like right before your eyes. So there is a key little piece of plot evidence here. In the Emperor's New Groove, it's established that only animals that used to be human are able to speak in the movie. There's a nasty moment in a scene where Cusco sees a fly get eaten by a spider, but he hears it scream, which must be, according to the logic of the movie, it must mean that this fly was once human. Kids, you witnessed a murder. Well guys, that was the top 10 scary Disney theories. Let me know what you thought to this list in the comments section down below. Also, are you buying into any of these theories? Do you believe in them? You got anything to add? Let me know. Before I go, I just want to read some comments from the Christmas urban legends. You guys loved it. Carrie Ann, who I always notice commenting, said, 2 of my favourite things, a good urban legend and Christmas. I'm a happy little lady. She also said, loving Rebecca's eyebrows. Eyebrow envy. Honestly, thanks, but like I've always thought I'd had terrible brows, so thank you. Shez Boy was basically all about the Christmas emojis, which was the mission, so I'm glad that they chose to accept it. Spirit Boy said, my family had an elf on the shelf before elf on the shelf was even a thing. Multiple members of my family would tell us to be good because an elf named Buttons was watching us, and at least 3 of my family's households I remember had a little elf about 3 inches tall. They would hide somewhere, and while you were decorating you'd look up and see this tiny elf staring down at you from the top of a shelf. I don't know where it originated though, whether it's a local thing or what. I can't find anything about a Buttons online. Basically, she's saying that Buttons must predate Elf on the Shelf, and she had a creepy little watcher, and honestly I still feel pretty uneasy about Elf on the Shelf. Do you guys have him? I worry. I don't like the surveillance. So guys, that is the end of the video. Do make sure you leave me a comment and a thumbs up. Also, if you want to head on over to our Instagram to check out what's going on over there, then we are at Most Amazing Official. For now though, I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!